Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another exciting, fun-filled edition of Music Scene Investigation. Rich Wildman here. Glad to have you with us. Looking forward to this show. I've been looking forward to it for about the last 15 minutes or so. And I'm sorry. You know, the fact is, our guest panelist has been looking forward to it for about the last 15 minutes or so as well. And I'll let you know why when we get him introduced. It's really a good story. All right, what we do here at Music Scene Investigations, we're the guys who wear the white coats in the lab and look through the microscopes and wear headphones all the time because we have cauliflower ear. We review indie music.
Speak for yourself.
What, you were never an Ultimate Fighter?
No.
Okay. Well,
Peace and love, man.
We'll talk about that in a little bit as well. But we review indie music. If you're an indie artist, doesn't matter where you're at, head to MusicSceneInvestigation.com, submit your music so our lab guys can analyze it, help you make that music better. How do we do that? Well, we select 3 songs every week randomly and present them for review by our panelists on the broadcast. We do that expecting them to give their honest opinions about it. It's not a touchy-feely, yeah, it was great, I could dance to it kind of thing. It's more of a technical review, or as I like to say, it's a review that you can use. And we have 3 panelists sitting with us, 2 in-house panelists, 1 guest panelist. Let's meet our in-house panelists first. I want to go to New York City first and introduce you to a recording engineer by trade, Mr. Tom Chianti. He's been in the business for quite a while and worked with some of the top names. Hey, Tom, how are you today, sir? Glad to see you.
Oh, glad to be seen and glad to be here. Looking forward to an exciting show and some good music, hopefully, and just generally having a good time.
So you said you had, we talked earlier today, you said it was bright and sunny there in New York City. Still bright and sunny?
Still bright and sunny, and it's warm.
And we have the window open so we can hear the trains.
Yes.
So it's a normal day in New York. Big Bird has not been bothering you?
No. Mitt Romney's going to fire Big Bird anyway.
All right, well, that's all good then. So we're all happy about that, you know, not having to worry about Big Bird plopping down on the fire escape or anything.
No, not here.
All right. Hey, Tom, always glad to have you with us, and we'll go over to London, England to say hello to Tom, because Tom's making fun, or excuse me, Ian, because Ian's making fun of Tom. you thought, yeah, let's go to London, we'll say hi to Tom. Hey, Tom. No.
Hey, how you doing? This is how we switch.
Yeah,
this is TV, it's magic.
It's actually time travel. So, Ian, you were making fun of Tom in the chat room, that's okay. Talking about his yellow short. How he looks like, kind of like Big Bird, maybe?
Tweety Pie, I said.
Tweety Pie.
Because if you remember Tom and Jerry, Tweety Pie used to pop up in there occasionally, and Tom was the cat, and instead Tom's Tweety... Oh, forget it.
So,
do you want to see my T-shirt?
Yeah, let's see your T-shirt.
This is from altsounds.com, and I won this on Twitter. They were tweeting out some lyrics, and you had to guess the lyric and the artist and the name of the song. So I picked out, I think it was a Lenny Kravitz song, and I won a great Alt Sounds T-shirt, and you should really get over there and check these guys out. They basically scour the sonic noisescape, highlighting the best and worst music so that you don't have to.
So in other words, they kind of do what we do, except they know what they're talking about beforehand, whereas we're constantly surprised.
Allegedly so. Apparently it's journalism for the masses, for the people, by the people. Now, you know, I don't like to consider myself the people. I like to consider myself the person. So, not quite what we do.
No,
You look more like a mass.
A mass?
Yes.
Or a mess? And if you can say
Well,
a mess, I can accept that. If you're saying a mass, then I'm going to take offence.
Well, you're going to have to answer the question, a mass of what?
A mass of people.
There you go. At 6'4", you fully qualify.
Well, I do, you know, and I'm sure I'm big enough to take Tom on next time I get into New York.
Well, let's hope it doesn't come to that. All right, Ian, you have some statistics for us on last week's witness page, yeah?
I do, and the audience was in total agreement with us. Well, 67% of them were, with Song 3, and that was for Best Songwriting, Best Performance, and Best Mixed Production.
All right, so everybody was in agreement there. That's nice to see that kind of thing happening.
Makes a change.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, appreciate you being here, Ian. Our guest panelist this week was with us about a month ago. We're glad to have him back. The reason why he was happy and eagerly looking forward to today's show for about the last 15 minutes was because he forgot he was coming on. And luckily, though, his partner in crime, Miss Carol Reardon, reminded him. Thank you, Carol, for reminding Mark. Mark Lamdanski, owner of Butterflies Radio, butterfliesradio.com. Hey, Mark.
I'm sorry, who are you? I forgot.
Who are you and why am I here?
Yeah, what's going on here? Wow, yeah, I would have been looking forward to this a whole lot longer, but thanks to Carol, I get to work. I have. All right, let me rewind that. I would have been. You can see I haven't had time to think about what I'm going to say today.
Well, that's okay.
Or put your teeth in by the sounds of it either.
Really. I'm a bit flustered because, I usually am all excited about being here and everything, and can't wait to get on. And Carol messages me on Facebook as I'm watching the football game today, and she says, well, you didn't tell me you were going to be on MSI today. I said, what? I am? And thank you, Carol. Appreciate it.
Now, let me ask you, Mark, in all seriousness, on Tuesdays, does she have to give you a call and let you know that you're also appearing on Twitter Tuesday Live?
Thankfully, that has not happened yet. It's a routine. Every Tuesday, I know I'm going to be there. So if you want to have me on the show every week and we can make it a routine, then it'll be no problem.
I'll tell you what, Mark, we'll consider that, but it's going to cost you.
Uh-oh.
Maybe a T-shirt or two, but we'll talk about it.
A T-shirt. Mm.
Well, right. Ian's collecting these T-shirts now, and
yeah, I figured it's a great way to advertise our friends. I'll wear a different T-shirt every week, so if anyone wants to send me a T-shirt, I don't care how offensive it is, I'll wear it.
How offensive it is. All right, cool. I'll think of one really offensive and send it to you.
It's just
you send it over, I'll wear it.
It only has to have your logo on it, plus whatever offensive thing you want on it for Ian to wear it.
Are you saying Mark's logo is offensive?
No. I said in addition to the logo, he can put his offensive saying, but the pre-qualification is it has to have the logo on there.
I'll just put a picture of Romney next to it. That's offensive enough.
Well, there you go. Everybody has an opinion. I want one with Big Bird on it.
Okay.
All right, Mark, in regards to Butterflies Radio, how things been going there? A lot of things in the works, I know, and why don't you let everybody know how things are progressing over at Butterflies?
Well, things are going pretty well. We have started a new segment that airs every Monday at 6 o'clock. This is our New Music Monday segment. It lasts for roughly 2 hours just before Kiva has her show on. And this is now the show that we will do every week if you to tune in to hear the new songs that we've added to our rotation. We let our bands know in advance that they're going to be featured. Encourage them to let their fans know, and so hopefully that builds up our listener base. In addition, we have begun letting the bands know in advance when they're going to be featured on Twitter Tuesday Live for the same reason. Hopefully get their fans, encourage their fans to come in and listen to the show. We are currently in talks with another, probably, I would imagine one of the largest internet-based radio stations for indie music, Indie 100. They're based in Los Angeles. We're in talks with them, getting Twitter Tuesday Live rebroadcast on their station. That will give us a listener base that is beyond belief, and we're excited about that. And as I mentioned to you off the air earlier, once I get my foot in over there, we might even see about getting MSI on their station.
Well, in regards to MSI, let me get my mic working here. In regards to MSI, I think it's a win-win for everybody. I mean, obviously, there are indie musicians out there who hopefully value what we do. And I like to believe it's an entertaining show, especially with Ian and Tom. And, of course, yourself whenever you remember to come on. But, you know, it's a win-win for everybody, I think.
Absolutely. And, you know, anytime I'm doing something for Butterflies Radio, I always do have MSI in the back of my mind. What am I going to do for these guys, too?
Well, we appreciate that. We really do. And
I've got an idea. Send us bags of money. That'd be a start.
All right. And I'll tell you what. I will send you a percentage of every bag of money that I receive.
Excellent.
And,
all right.
And that includes that bag of money that I'm supposed to send you next week, right?
Yes. It's not the Monopoly money, right? We agreed it's not going to be Monopoly money.
No, not Monopoly money at all. Okay. I found another game that includes money in it. I'm using that, so we should be good.
It's the game of life, and he's going to send you the babies as well.
That's all right. Thanks.
Well, I'll tell you, rather than work in money today, let's work in music today. Because, you know, that's why we do what we do. That's what we're here for. We're here to listen to music and let you guys decide on the merits of that music and hopefully help some of these artists make it better. If it can't be made better, if it's perfect, we want to hear that as well. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a listen to track number 1 on today's Music Scene Investigation. Here it is, everybody. This is track number 1.
While asleep, I dream of eating sheep. It's so strange just how your brain works all the time. I'm forgetting more and more. Find my key still in the door, but I remember Neil in '69. To get to sleep when you're counting roasted sheep. The more you try, the harder that it gets. And when I fall asleep, I dream of happy sheep till I see that she's the shepherdess. So it seems my memory only works selectively. I wish it would remember to forget, not remember that I can't, or remind me that I shan't ever learn to get her out my head. Ever forgetting me.
And there is song number 1 on today's broadcast. Let's go to Ian, find out what he thinks about song number 1 today. Ian, what do you think?
I think this is... I'm with the chat room. Did he just say counting roasted sheep?
Yes, he did.
Fantastic. I mean, yeah, there's some. This just got me baffled a little bit, to be honest. This is a nice little tune, maybe a children's tune, not quite sure. Not a lot to it, but I kind of like the simplicity of it. The acoustic was very well performed. I did like the tone, although I did feel it was a little bit sharp, not in the tuning, but in the actual EQ. And also a tad dominating to the mix. I would like to a bit more lullaby-ish on that, rather than being so hard on the picking. The voice, I liked his voice. It had a very Beatlesque sort of sound to his voice and the melody, I thought. There was an arrangement there. I would have liked to hear more. Really didn't like the synth. Those synth strings, it sounds like an out-of-the-box sound, something from GarageBand or Logic or something like that. And what I really would like to hear on here would some real strings, a cello, just giving an underlying sort of bass tone sitting in there. You really could have done more on the instrumentation on this and built it up a little bit. I mean, lyrically, there's something going on. I mean, he's obviously talking about fancying a shepherdess, so it's all about a girl again. But it's also all about roasted sheep, whether he's spending a night in the carvery or something, I'm not too sure. But, yeah, it's interesting. I mean, is it commercial? Well, probably not, but it's a lovely little song. And, you know... the way it dropped down with that heavy reverbs and delays and stuff on the chorus was nice. Did feel the vocal got a little bit lost in there. But yeah, there's something about this that's really, really charming.
All right, Ian, I appreciate it. Thank you very much, sir. And Mr. Tom Chianti, your thoughts?
I agree with Ian. Lyrically, it's very, very interesting, and it's a nice, simple tune. The acoustic was played very well. His voice, though, really dropped down a lot in the chorus. Too much so for me. And I actually didn't mind the synth strings. They added the underlying tone that... Ian was speaking of, like maybe a cello. Cello probably would have been better, or a string quartet. But a little too wet in the vocal. But definitely interesting and charming, as he said. It could be a nice little lullaby with a little change in lyrics, or... it was just very interesting, and then, you know, lyrically it caught me right away. So, I liked it.
Okay, Tom, I thank you very much. And Mr. Mark Lamdanski, co-owner of ButterfliesRadio.com. What do you think?
That was really cute. I actually enjoyed that song. I just kept picturing Kermit the Frog singing it, though. I don't know. I kept picturing the Muppets and, you know, Kermit sitting up in the spotlight just down on him singing. It's you know, and you and Ian stating it might be a good children's song. I kind of know. I agree with that wholeheartedly. It was really good. The synth strings, I would have liked it a lot better if it actually sounded more like strings and less like synth. But it was. I really enjoyed it. It's a song I would like to play for my daughter, actually, see what she thinks about it. You know, it's not a commercial song. It's not a song that I would put on our station unless we had, you know, Children's Hour or Muppets Hour or whatever. But
Phenomena.
Yeah. Overall, though, it was really good, and I would listen to it again, and then with the kids in the room, and I bet my son would have a really big laugh at the counting roasted sheep line. That I thought that was really cute, but good song. I like it. Good job.
All right.
Mark, I really want to see that. I want to see Kermit the Frog sat there with his little acoustic guitar and the Swedish chef cooking Muppet sheep and throwing them over a fence for him to count. That would just be classic.
I've got to ask this question, though. If Kermit the Frog were singing it, don't you think rather than sheep it would have been pork?
No, he loves Miss Piggy. Let's not get into this debate again. It's like that playground thing they have. He loves her, man.
Just asking. I thought I would figure that out. All right, that song is called Forget Her Out of My Head by Keith Fellows. Keith Fellows, we appreciate your sending that song into Music Scene Investigation. Again, you want your song on MSI? Go to MusicSceneInvestigation.com. Make it easy on yourself. Click that Submit a Song page, and we'll get it into the mix. Guaranteed. All right, gentlemen, that's song number 1. We've got 2 more songs to go. Let's go ahead and suit up, and here's song number 2 on today's Music Scene Investigation. Here it is, song number 2.
On the street dragging to the shore.
All but your Saturday dreams, all but my Sunday love.
And there you have song number 2 on today's MSI. Let's go straight to Mr. Tom Chianti. Tom, what do you think about track number 2?
What did he say?
I said, what did you think about track number 2?
No, the vocals in the lower register, he was totally lost. He dragged somebody to the floor and shrugged her or shagged her. I don't know.
Maybe a bit of both.
It's a nice music bed. The low bass constantly got lost. The vocals totally need to be redone, clarified, and brought out more in the mix. It's hard to hear somebody when they're singing in their lower register because you usually get a lot of wind and it takes compression and EQ and whatnot. But he was really, and the overlying female vocal, it was jarbled at first, and as I further got into it, I could kind of make out what she was saying. But overall, it was a nice music base, a music bed rather. But I'm still trying to figure out who's on the floor and what the song's about.
All right, Tom. I appreciate that. Thank you. And Mark, what do you think of track 2?
Speaking of wind, hello.
What?
Yeah, the Skype wind is it's
no. Yeah, no, because Tom said that the lower registers kind of get windy. Oh, it was a joke. It was a bad joke. I'm good at making bad jokes.
You're a little gassy today, Mark.
It's windy in here. Wow. Yeah, it was a very pretty song. I also enjoyed the the music bed, as Tom put it. I really like the acoustic guitar, the keyboard, and behind. It just. I understood the woman kind of. The man had no idea what he was saying. It was too soft. It needs to be brought out more, or he needs to sing in a higher register. I'm not sure what it is. Yeah, Carol's asking me in the chat room, pretty song, Mark? Yeah, I thought it was nice, actually. I thought the melody was good. The lyrics, I couldn't hear them, so I don't know if the lyrics were pretty or not. Because I know Carol, she's a lyrics person. She would listen to that first. I, on the other hand, listen to the music first. And, I think if the vocals were redone so that we can hear everything, this might be a song that I would put on the rotation. But, it wasn't bad, but do something about that the male voice at least on it. That's what I think.
All right. Appreciate that, Mark. Thank you very much. And over to Ian. Ian, what do you think?
I'm going to do my review in a very low voice because I think I need to do it for this song like that. No, well, yeah, he was a bit bassy, wasn't he, really? It sounds like he's got a voice on him. It sounds like his voice is quite unique. But again, couldn't hear a word of what he was saying. And I was sitting there thinking, this has got kind of a French feel about it. The French do that sort of deep spoken word in their songs sometimes. And then when I did get to hear the voice, I think he may have been French. I don't think English was actually his first language. But I will stand corrected on that because I couldn't really hear it well enough anyway. But, I mean, what the guys are saying about the music bed, there were some really nice performances going on there. The piano sounded really nice. If there was a bass in there, I couldn't hear it. I think there was. It was very deep and very bassy, and there was no clarity to it whatsoever. It didn't stick out in the mix. It was just dominated by everything for me. The acoustic sound was nice. I found the drums were a little loose. kick drum especially was very sort of boxy and MIDI and just a bit flappy and didn't have any sort of solidness to it. So I'd like to heard that changed. The female vocal, yeah, again with Tom, it was a bit garbled to start with and sort of gained a bit of clarity throughout the track. But again, she was in stark contrast to that guy's really deep voice. And, you know, there was just no separation between, well, there was a lot of separation between the two, but all you could hear was her and not him. And I thought the whole thing was overcompressed. Everything was on top of each other. Everything was fighting for space, which was part of the reason you couldn't hear the vocals. They were just being drowned out with everything on top of each other. I mean, you know, I think there is a good song in there. There was some good dynamics, and there was some lovely, lovely builds up into the chorus. But without that vocal, it falls over dramatically, basically. But yeah, good music bed. Shame about the deep voice not being heard.
All right, I appreciate that, Ian. And let me let you know the song's name was, yes, indeed, Carol, you were right, Song for Jane by a French group called Pounouf. So,
I'm good. Am I good or what?
There you have it. Absolutely. So that was true, Ian. You were right on the money there. Now, before we get to the third song, I've got to let everybody know we need your help on this as well. That's why we have that Be a Witness button off to the edge of the page. You need to click that after the third song. Let us know what you think about the music you've heard here today to help us gather statistics on who you like the best. All right, and we'll bring those statistics to you next week on Music Scene Investigation. All right, gentlemen, we have one more song to go through today, so I want you to go ahead and give this one a listen. Let us know what you think about it after the fact. So here it is, everybody. We'll get song number 3 going for you right now. Here it is, song 3 on today's show.
They won't come around anymore. Because you scared them all away. So they're making their way to the star. From whence they came on a beam of light, I swear. Things will never be the same. You know they change for good or bad. So I'm planning on living a life just to see now if I can. It's like a dream, if you know what I mean. I don't know why, but things seem to be like some constant kind of reality. as they travel through the stars. They wonder if we'll ever change, but we're young as a race, they say. Drenched in blood, our greed and our flame. It's like a dream, if you know what I mean. I don't know why, but things seem to be like some alternate reality. They won't come around anymore.
And there you have song number 3 on today's MSI. We're going to go straight to Mr. Mark Lamdanski, find out what he thought. Mark, what are your thoughts on number 3?
Well, I'll tell you. It's going to be tough today. But I think, I'm not supposed to pick a song right now, so I'm not going to. But let's just say I like this song. I think it's probably has the most potential of the 3 from my perspective as a radio station owner. There's something about the mix that was bothering me. I'm not a technical person. Maybe it's I could hear the bass, but it wasn't filling in the song for me. I think it needed more low end, more bass. I think there was too much trouble going on. It sounded to me like it was just recorded in somebody's bedroom with a mic or two. It didn't sound like it was professionally done. The guy singing, he had his moments where he was good, and then he had his moments where I was cringing. I don't know if he was too sharp or what, but it wasn't hitting. It was pitchy, and it bothered me. But I think as far as songwriting is concerned, it has potential. I think, given a good mix, working out the vocals, this could be a song that I would play on our station. That's about all I can really say about that.
All right. Well, I appreciate it, Mark. Thank you. And over to Ian. Ian, what do you think?
Shh, I'm tweeting. No, sorry, I'm in the chat. So, just talking to Carol, saying that Mark was going to put it on the rotation anyway, there's a song here. Lots of comments in the chat about it sounding like a Jethro Tull track. And it really did need something like a flute or an instrumental in here at some point in time. I felt that was missing. You just had a fade out a fade out at the end there with nothing going on, where that could have at least had some sort of instrumental in there. That 6/8 syncopated type feel to the drums, it got too much for me. I wanted it to sort of break into something a bit more easier to listen to and easier to sort of get into the groove with, but it was just full on with that sort of 6/8 kind of syncopated feel on the drums, and it was too much. They were obviously programmed as well, I think, because the sounds on them there, they were thin, and it was all up in the higher end of the EQ. There was no sort of bottom end in there at all. There was clipping on the vocals, where he was hitting the highs and going for it. It was just overpowering what he was on his recording. And the vocals sounded like they weren't part of the mix at all. They sounded like it was sort of stuck on afterwards. The whole mix, Mark's right, it does sound like this was recorded by some guy in his bedroom. The whole mix was lacking in reverbs and compressions. It sounded like it was just straight off the desk or straight out of the computer without any effects or anything being laid down on it. It was very, very raw, and it needed a bit of work. It needed a lot of work, to be honest. There were timing issues as well. The acoustic guitars and the guitars in general were very, very well played, but they were clashing in parts with the two different rhythms being played. And then when that drum beat was constant, they just weren't always looking in with that, and that made it kind of loose for me. Don't get me wrong, the guitar work is fantastic. He was playing that very well. I agree with Mark on the vocals as well. His performance was inconsistent. He had some good moments, he had some bad moments. I mean, there is, lyrically there's some good qualities there. And in the arrangement, all the little stabs and the rundowns worked. He's obviously put thought into the arrangement, but he really needs to put a lot more thought into this mix. I mean, you could also sort of say it's got a kind of Steely Dan feel about it. It's got a very retro feel about it, and I don't know if that would stand up with anything today, especially not at the moment in what people are buying. But there is a good song, but it needs re-recording. It needs rearranging with the drums. It needs the vocals re-recording. It needs a lot of work.
All right, Ian and Tom, what are your thoughts?
I don't know where to begin. The whole mix sounded disjointed. I didn't like the panning on the guitars. Things were clashing. Like Ian said, there were timing issues. It was all very trebly. The vocalist was pitchy throughout. Could have used some background vocals or something. And I don't know, the subject matter. Aliens coming in on a beam of light leaves me a little questionable why they didn't have some synth sounds in there just to fill it out. It needed something on the low end. It was just far too disjointed and should be redone for me to even make an educated dissemination of.
Okay. All right, Tom. Well, I appreciate your thoughts. Now, the name of this track is, let's see here, They Won't Come Around Anymore. They Won't Come Around Anymore by FatRatz. So the FatRatz, we appreciate your sending that track into Music Scene Investigation. Now, before we get to the guys and their whole picking a song of the week, which they have to do, I want to let you guys know that if you're looking for promotion out on the internet for your music, there's only one place to go. That's the Indie Music Bus. Get on the bus. Forget about everything else. Walter will take good care of you. IndieMusicBus.com. Make it happen. That's all I got to say about the whole thing. Now,
and I would like to give a quick shout out to our hit list winner as well, the Poppy Brothers, with their song Too Far Gone. As you probably know already, we do the hit list every second Wednesday where we take all of our Song of the Week artists and we put them against each other in a head-to-head battle. And this month, or artists for last month, technically, the winner was the Poppy Brothers with Too Far Gone. So go and check them out.
Absolutely, the Poppy Brothers. You don't want to miss those guys. All right, gentlemen, the last task I have for you today is the Song of the Week selection. So I'm going to turn it over to you. I'll let you guys make a decision on this. Discuss it amongst yourselves, but please, no fighting.
Well, meh. I mean, I keep coming back to The Sheep. I really do. I mean, the second track, well performed, badly produced and mixed, and the vocals just not there. This one, really loose, needs a lot of attention, even though there's a good song there. I mean, if we're looking at the best package this week, at least number one is kind of probably the best mixed for what it is, and the best performed for what it is. And it's interesting. But, you know, it's kind of a bit of a left-of-centre choice for a Song of the Week on MSI compared to what we normally sort of select.
Mark? Tom?
I understand where Ian is coming from. And as you all know, I look at it from a perspective of would I or would I not play this on a station? Is it commercially viable? I really liked song number one, but it's not a song that I think has a commercial potential, unless it's going to be, for a kid's show. It's got that kind of a feel to it. Song number two, it has potential, but I think that of the three, and this is again from my perspective, I think that number three had the most potential for commercial viability. For as far as the songwriting is concerned, the lyric writing, the performance wasn't terrific, and the recording mix wasn't terrific. But I'm going to have to go with song number three on this one.
All right, and that leaves it up to you, Tom.
Why?
I haven't actually made a selection yet. I was throwing it out there. I'm waiting to hear what the boys have to say before I choose.
That wasn't the impression I had, Ian. But okay, we'll go with that.
No, I was just discussing what was on my mind.
I see.
Okay.
Oh, backtracking there.
No, not at all.
I actually will go with number one. Even though Mark said it's not a song he'd put in rotation, he did mention that there is a market for it. And there certainly is if it were just tweaked. The other two songs, there's too much work needed to be done on them. And number one just sticks with me is a lighthearted, fun lyrical song. Number two was too hard to hear the vocal, and number three was just, the mix was just totally just disjointed to me. There was too many clashes and whatever. Whether there's a song there or not, I don't think it's topical. So I would have to go with number one.
All right, so then we have one vote for number one, one vote for number three, and now we'll throw it back to Ian so he can consider.
Well, I think in that case, Tom's won me over. But number one.
Okay. So there you have it. Split decision from our panelist. Song number one, Forget Her Out of My Head, by Keith Fellows, is our song of the week. Gentlemen, as always, a big thanks to you. Mark, love having you on. I'll try and call you on your cell phone next time. How's that?
By all means, you should feel free to call me anytime, and especially before hit list. So I remember to put that on too.
Hey guys, I've got an idea. Next hit list, right? Let's make this song the winner by default. That way, Mark has to put it on his station with Keeper.
Now, we can't do that on purpose, but if it happens to win, it wins. So I want to thank everybody for being here with us today, especially you, Mark, and everybody out in our audience as well. So, Mark, Twitter Tuesday this coming week, who's going to be on the show with you guys?
Oh, we have a return guest this week, the lovely and beautiful and gorgeous, and talented Melissa Van Fleet. She's got a new album out, and we're pleased to have some of her songs on the station, and she'll be our guest this week, and we're really looking forward to having her back. The last time she was on the show, she was talking to us on her iPhone through Wi-Fi at McDonald's. So for a full 2 hours, she sat outside McDonald's using their Wi-Fi.
That's amazing. I mean, these days, you got to wonder why didn't the security come out and run her off? But thank goodness they didn't, They
were loving it.
All right. So we appreciate it, Mark. Make sure you tune in to Twitter Tuesday Live this Tuesday, 8 p.m., butterfliesradio.com, and show up in Twitter. Give them a shout-out at All Indie. They'll give you a shout-out on the air as well. Now, I want to thank you guys for being with us once again. We're going to play out with song number one after we throw it over to Ian and find out what he has to say for next week. Ian?
Who's our guest next week, Rich?
Our guest next week is whoever you're going to tell me it is.
It's Tom Oswald of Acoustic Spectrum and Red Dragon Records, who sat on with us a couple of months ago, and it'll be good to have him back.
Yes, it will. It'll be great to have them back. So we'll.
Can I ask you? Have you rescheduled Carol yet?
We have, but she doesn't remember it.
Oh, okay. Because I've forgotten.
Can you remind her?
I'll remind. Wait a minute. If she reminds me to remind her, I will be happy to do so.
All right. Sounds perfectly good. It sounds like a plan to me. All right. We're going to play out with Forget Her Out of My Head by Keith Fellows as this song of the week. Thanks for being with us, everybody. We'll see you again next time right here on Music Scene Investigation.
Bye.
Bye.
Hungry while asleep, I dream of eating sheep. It's so strange just how your brain works all the time. I'm forgetting more and more. Find my key still in the door, but I remember Neil in '69. Hard to get to sleep when you're counting roasted sheep. The more you try, the harder that it gets. And when I fall asleep, I dream of happy sheep till I see that she's the shepherdess. So it seems my memory only works selectively. I wish it would remember to forget. Not remember that I can't, or remind me that I shan't ever learn to get her out my head. Ever forgetting